Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. I'm Sarah Serma from Admiral Consulting Group, and we are so excited to be here today. Thank you for joining us. I'd like to start off with some introductions and housekeeping, then we'll dive into the presentation. Admiral Consulting Group is a Microsoft partner specializing in accounting and property management solutions for the real estate industry. We are based in New Jersey and are proud to partner with clients across the United States and around the world to deliver all-in-one solutions to improve operations and empower businesses. That's what today's webinar is all about. We are going to show you Business Central with software for real estate, an awesome end-to-end accounting and property management solution. Hopefully today we can give you some ideas about how you can use this solution like software to organize your data, eliminate manual processes, and streamline operations. We'd love for this session to be as interactive as possible. So if you have any questions during the presentation, feel free to type that into the chat or questions and answer box. We'll address all questions at the end. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce our panelists. Next slide. Kat Worthridge, Director of Client Operations from Admiral Consulting, Sarah Serma, Client Services from Admiral Consulting, Donatus, Solutions Architect from Software Real Estate. Next slide. As for the agenda today, the topics we will cover include the value of Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central Cloud, how to be one step ahead and stay current on the latest technology, the benefits of an all-in-one accounting and property management system. With that, we are ready to get started. So I'll turn it over to my colleague, Kat from Admiral. Take it away, Kat.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us. So check it out. Business Central is a comprehensive business management solution. What does that mean? So with Business Central, you get a full suite of functions. It's the same package of functions you'd expect from any ERP system, starting with a robust accounting package to run your financials, process your AP invoices, right? Send invoices to your customers, track expenses, payroll. You have a detailed chart of accounts to tie everything back. And then there are other modules to capture all kinds of information about your business in that database. You can track inventory, do supply chain, build financial statements, and even leverage Power BI for data visualization. We're not going to spend a ton of time today talking about, the boring stuff, how you can, print checks or create a sales invoice. You can do that with any ERP system, right? Today, we're going to focus on where Business Central, or BC, as we call it for short, stands apart from other systems, right? How it can bring your data together to give you a true system of record and a single source of truth. Okay, next slide, please, Donatus. There we go. All right, great. So take a look at this wheel, okay? All of these functional areas are part of the core BC platform. You get all of this stuff out of the box. And natively, this allows you to capture tons of data about your business. But what happens when BC doesn't natively capture the data that your business needs to track and run efficiently? So that's the beauty of Business Central. This is an extensible platform. So it's not a one-size-fits-all. It can be extended to add more functions that will specifically address the needs of your business, help you do things like track CAM fees, right? Do your lease agreements, enter work orders. You could even have a tenant portal. And all of that data is tying back to your ERP system. So we'll circle back to those functions here in a little bit. But first, let's talk about, how do you get it? What does it look like? What are your deployment options? Okay. Next slide, please. Okay. Great. So in terms of deployment, where is Business Central sitting in this world? You've got options, right? Which is great. So firstly, you can host the software on a server on site at your office. That's how people have been doing it for decades, and many organizations still prefer to have it that way for one reason or another. Microsoft is making that available to you with Business Central. In the middle here, we've got a hybrid approach. Okay, so in this scenario, we're leveraging the private cloud. So this is a hosted environment. You can think Azure on the Microsoft side, or Amazon Web Services, if that's your preference. Your local devices connect out to the cloud to access the hosted application. So that's been around for about the last decade or so. The final option here on this slide is the latest and greatest, the public cloud. So with Business Central in the cloud, your infrastructure costs just go away, right? All you need is a stable internet connection, and then you can access Business Central from any device, anywhere you want to be. Plus, in the cloud, you're always on the latest version of the software, which is a great benefit. You can eliminate those painful, time-consuming upgrades. Microsoft is releasing updates on a monthly basis, and these are automatically applied to your environment. Next slide, please. Okay, so to recap here, with Business Central and Software Real Estate, you've got an all-in-one comprehensive business management solution. This works wherever you are with full capabilities and rich functionality on any device, whether it's your desktop, tablet, or your phone. The experience is consistent and secure across all of those platforms, whether it's on-premise or in the cloud. And it's all on the Microsoft platform, right? So you can leverage integrations with the productivity tools that most folks are already using today. Things like Outlook, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, right? All of these tools that are in the Office 365 suite are deeply embedded within Business Central. So you can work with your customer data in your ERP system without even leaving your email inbox. Business Central is an add-in for Outlook. So you can quote and communicate with your customers, leveraging the data from Business Central right inside your email. Next slide, please. So I hope you're starting to see here that Business Central is much more than an ERP system. It is a true platform. Layers of services that all work together to help you run your business. So this platform layers really start with the common data service and these Power App, Power Automate utilities that leverage your data and tie into all these workloads on the Microsoft stack, allowing you to automate processes. Okay, and then we have the business management tools. So the productivity side, we discussed with Outlook and Word, all the Microsoft 365 tools. And sitting next to that is your single source of truth with Business Central. And then can leverage other services like Power BI to do dashboard reporting, and coming soon with Microsoft 365 Copilot and advancements in AI. Business Central is the only ERP system available today that has these Copilot capabilities. It's going to allow you to take the data stored in your ERP about a rental unit, for example, and just craft a marketing ready description that you can post on your website. Like really intelligent, exciting technologies that Microsoft's investing in for the business applications. And then on top of that, we have partner apps and per tenant extensions. These are unique utilities that a partner like Admiral Consulting Group would build just for you to meet the needs of your business. Think about it like it's a custom commissions calculation or a special invoice layout. And then finally, the icing on the Business Central cake is AppSource. This is the app marketplace. This is like the Google Play Store on your Android, Apple Store, the App Store on your iPhone. AppSource is an extension marketplace. It's the Microsoft app marketplace, where certified for Microsoft Dynamics apps are published. You can enter keywords in there and find pre-built solutions that will fill just about any gap that BC has, right? If BC doesn't do it natively, chances are someone's already figured it out and they've built an app for that. So that's where we partner with Software Real Estate. Software Real Estate adds really smart functional features that solve the needs of property managers, and it sits right inside of Business Central. So it's giving you that all-in-one accounting and property management solution to help you run your business. So with that, let's hear more about Software Real Estate and what it can do. Donatus?
Okay, hello everyone. So my name is Donatas and I am a solution architect from Soft4. So yeah, basically I'm working with Software Real Estate solution for years, and as Kat mentioned, yeah, we have our solution on Microsoft App Source, and it is a certified solution for Business Central. So I'll try to introduce you to our solution. First, we'll go through some slides, and then I will show directly software and how it looks like, and what are major processes that you can handle using Software Real Estate solution. So to begin with, shortly about our clients. So mainly our clients are commercial property managers, office building managers, but we have also some other kind of clients that find out that our solution fits their needs. So we have other markets, not only shopping centers, but markets. We have also residential properties, film studios, industrial properties. Basically, you can use it for any kind of asset rentals. So we have also some strange scenarios where our clients found our solution works for them and fits their needs. So for each of the type of the properties, there are different scenarios how you can use. So for which might be relevant for one markets like shopping centers, you can calculate turnover rents and so on. For other properties, you can distribute common area costs, do the work orders and maintenance. So there are plenty of features which would fit to one or another market. So why it's worth to choose all-in-one solution? So some of the benefits were already mentioned by Kat. So first, of course, is secure Microsoft platform. And as Kat mentioned, Microsoft is constantly releasing updates and hot fixes. So you can be sure that probably all the security issues would be fixed as soon they are noticed. And especially when you're on the cloud, you can get those updates automatically and install them with no cost. Data consistency and integrity in one complex system would lower the risk of data loss, or you don't need any integration to connect two different systems, because many of property managers, they are using separate systems, one for accounting or other processes like sales purchases, and another for managing their tenant data, lease agreements. And such systems, such different systems can lead you to some risk to data loss, because yeah, you would need somehow to integrate those. Also, if you would have several systems, you would need to support them separately, and this could be costly, because once you have one solution on one platform, you can have one vendor which would support you. So that partner would know your company better than many different partners. And again, as Kat mentioned, you can access your business from any device, from anywhere. There is a Business Central app for your mobile device. It It can be phone or tablet. So all you need is internet connection, and you are ready to go. You can get the reports on real-time data. You can access other information, check customer debts, balances, everything. What you need to have is mobile device or your laptop and internet connection. Okay, so some key facts about soft real estate add-on, which is just a piece in a Business Central, but it really helps property managers to solve their daily tasks and save some time. So you can have your tenancy data, you can have lease contracts, lease units, you can get various views on those contracts. You can track expiring contracts, other data. So you can get some real-time reporting. So that help you not to miss any deadline or some task that you need to do that would be related to one or another contract. Soft real estate can help you to prepare the new contract. So you can build your own templates in the system and then just add the key information on the lease contract card, and then you can prepare a draft of a lease contract, which you can later negotiate with a client, and then you can keep all that information in the system. So other users can access that data and check all the related activities to one or another tenancy. By having all the data in one place, you can improve your customer service, and you can get some insights, and you can get the data you need from one source of data. And in software real estate solution, you can check, for example, customer balances, overdue payments directly in there, as well as you can analyze your financial data with some property management attributes. Like you can analyze revenue and cost per property, per unit. You can link those to each other, which might help you um, to make some good decisions. Different pricing options which you can define on lease contract allows you to enter all the details and prepare contract for calculation of invoices and automate that process. So you can set up prices that can be fixed based on area, based on meter readings for utilities, for example, for electricity, water, and so on. You can set turnover and calculations. You can define discounts for some periods and many other things. Also, you can manage your costs and you can distribute those. You can compare cost to revenue. If you have one-time charges that need to be re-invoiced for that tenants, you can do that directly from your purchasing module. You can allocate those costs to a particular tenant, and then you can automatically bill the tenant for those charges. Also, you can get real-time reports. By saying real-time, I mean if anything happens in the system, by just populating the report or hitting the refresh button, you will get the KPIs already with that data which is in the system. So you can use other Microsoft reporting tools like Power BI. I will shortly introduce you to that as well, which can quickly and in very nice way show you your data, your performance, and then you can make some decisions out of that. Also, there is a module for managing work orders and customer requests. So it's more for you can do it to track all your tenant inquiries, which Kat mentioned can be raised through the tenant portal, and you can respond directly in BC, change statuses, agree on some additional works, additional services that tenant needs, as well as you can track your preventive maintenance tasks that can be related to some maintenance assets that you need to take care of. So system can help you not to miss any deadline and track all the related information. So key facts. So having out-of-the-box solution as an app which is certified by Microsoft and meets all the development guidelines, you don't need to build your own solutions and do some customizations, build some small systems from scratch. So it would save you some time. You don't need to deal with the partners explaining all the processes, what you need to have and what you would like to have in the system. So having already built-in apps and extensions of ABC would really save some time. And as Kat mentioned, there are plenty of other apps that might help you in your business. Those can be small ones, just that were created just for one task, but you can find also other complex solutions or apps that are available on the app source. Software real estate is constantly developed and supported solution. So in a similar way as Microsoft, we also make our solution updates and releases. We do those periodically. It depends on the new features or bug fixes. So we try to make sure that it's stable and working, and it fits to the newest Business Central version. Otherwise, we couldn't be there on the app source. So we take care about our customers. We pay attention to their requirements, and we constantly add new features which we see would be suitable for many our clients. And also, if you're on cloud, you don't need to take care about the system upgrades, because every time new Business Central version, which is twice a year, when it's released, you would get that upgrade automatically. And it just happens overnight. You can schedule those. The same with software real estate. All the new features that we develop, you get those for free, and it's just up to you whether to use those or not. But there's no need for time-consuming and sometimes expensive upgrades. If you're hosting some solutions in-house, then it's a bit harder to get all the updates. But if you're on cloud, so it's really easy. So before going to the live demonstration, one more slide. So to sum up, staying on the latest technology would lower the risk of data loss and security issues. By connecting your property management solution and accounting processes would help you to make easier decisions and faster decisions, because you would have everything in one place. You don't need to do any integrations to get those data combined. You can get that reporting from one source of data, which is much easier than connecting and mapping data from different softwares. And also, those processes, automated processes, would save you a lot of time and give you more time to focus on what's important for you, like your business, making some other decisions or processes, just not to waste time on some technical tasks that you would need to do by manually doing one or another task. So these automations would help you to save a lot of time. And these are numbers which one of our clients has calculated how much in time or money they have saved. So it's yeah, really nice numbers. Okay, so now it's time for system demonstration. So let me switch my screen. Yep, it's here. So I hope you can see it, and I'll try to go through some key windows, dashboards, and run some processes in software real estate. So here you can see the main screen, the dashboard, the role center, as you can call it, which we have created for property managers. Here you can find all the related information, lists and actions, reports that could be used for property manager, or not necessarily any other who has access or permissions to see particular data. They can switch to this dashboard and check what's important. Since this is one solution built on Business Central, we can see all the other areas which we can have on the Business Central. So we have finance part with general ledger, cash management, bank accounts, fixed assets. We have sales part, purchasing, also other areas which some of them, of course, probably won't be used, like manufacturing for property managers, but it's just to show that it's everything in one place. And if you're using a property manager's dashboard, doesn't mean that you cannot access other parts of the Business Central. So you can use global search for that. For example, if I search for chart of accounts, I get it as available option. I can bookmark those areas, those lists that I would like to check time to time, and those would appear here on my dashboard for property manager. So it's completely, it can be configured by every user by using personalization. So you can hide unused parts, you can reorder some parts, and make it comfortable for you to use. So on this dashboard, we can see some KPIs here. We have number of contracts, lease units, sales invoices, work orders, and other areas. We have interactive map where you can map your rentable units to a floor map or a building map, and then by different color we can see which of them are vacant or rented. So if you get an inquiry from potential client, you can quickly suggest some areas which are available for rent. For that, also you can use this chart which is interactive and shows you the availability of units that you have for rent in different time frames. So for example, I can see that in 30 days I have an increase in my vacancy, so probably some of the contracts are going to expire soon. Or if a client is sending you the inquiry about some available units, probably in 3 months, so you can click on that part, green part, and get the list of available units here with some related data like unit size, unit area, address, and other attributes like floor number and so on. So we can quickly find and suggest available units for potential client. Also, we have a part for reporting, which is actually connected Power BI report, and it's just embedded into Business Central. So you can connect any Power BI reports, which you can quickly open from this window and check the data. So probably I will go through those reports at the end of presentation. It's just a capability of different Microsoft systems to work in one. As Kat mentioned, you can have Business Central data in your Outlook. You can get Power BI data on Business Central. Also, you can integrate it with Teams, and you can use some data from Business Central in Teams as well. So all these Microsoft different platforms and Power Platform, actually, it's connected, and it makes easy to get one or another data in different system. Also, here we have some lists like expiring contracts, expiring contract guarantees, insurances, and so on. So it can quickly show you some data that you wouldn't like to miss, and probably you need to contact this tenant for guarantee extension. Okay, so this is the dashboard. So I'll go to some other main areas in the solution. So of course, major data is rentable units. Because if you don't have anything to rent, so you cannot create lease contract and so on. So it's kind of clear. And these units, in most cases, it's a building and some units in that building, or those units can be grouped in other groupings based on your properties or your assets that you're using for rent. So standard case is a building, floor, and some units in that floor. We can have just a building and some units in that floor, or you can have a group of buildings. So basically, you can create many levels of those groups. It can be I don't know, block, which contains some floors or buildings. Actually, it's based on the properties you would be managing. Then each unit have its own card, own details, related information with charges. You can assign costs to these units. Well, cost can be assigned to a property, and system would allocate cost to a particular unit based on area, because we have each unit area on individual card, which can be changed, and all those changes are kept in the system by with a changing date. Because if you would move some walls, make some units smaller, other larger, you can merge units, split unit, one big unit into two. Everything is available. So when you have your unit data in the system, you are ready to create a lease contract. Of course, you need to have a customer, but probably in every system you have customer database or accounts. So I will not go into details of those. I will open one of the lease contracts, which is a key data in software real estate, because it's related into other processes like invoicing, which is one of the key processes that you need to issue correct sales invoices for your tenants every month, probably. So based on lease contract data, you can automate the invoicing process, and you can create all the invoices and send them by email to your tenants just in minutes. And lease contract data has general section where we have contract dates, customer, and some other attributes. We can have contract guarantees, deposit amounts, and on contract lines, we have different services that can be assigned to this contract, and we can have different units. So on the contract header, we have a building. So we are saying this contract is in shopping center. And for this client, Samadis, we have these services, which would be included in invoicing. So of course, it's rent for this unit. Also, there's some common area maintenance fee, some additional fee for cleaning, and one of the utilities, it's electricity. And then on each line, we can define different pricing models. And prices can be based on unit area. So you can say it's $10 per area. Area can be in different unit of measures, square foot, square meters, and so on. So it's not related to one or another market. You can define fixed price. So let's say $5,000 per month, and that price would be used. For utilities, like direct utilities such as electricity or water usage, if there are meters in those units, we can track that consumption. So we can import meter readings, and based on meter readings and that rate for particular service, system can calculate what would be the charge for one or another utility. For common area maintenance or some other fees, you can just distribute actual costs. Let's say you have some costs for property, and then you can distribute those costs by different methods. You can distribute by unit area to all the units in that property, or you can define custom calculation proportions for each unit, and then those costs can be allocated to a particular unit, and then you can invoice client for those costs. There are many other details and sections on the lease contracts that I won't go into deep details, but we can define break clauses, renewal options. We can add some dates with descriptions what should be done on particular day or what has been done related to this contract. We can track subtenancy details, insurances. And this is the document section where I would like to stop, because I have mentioned that you can easily prepare the contract for your tenant. So it's there's a possibility that you can define different contract templates and prepare those from the system. So first, you would type some data into the system, then select the template which you would like to print, and then you simply prepare that document based on the data you have added to the system. And then, since it's Microsoft products, we can prepare those documents in Word very easily, and system just is added to some places in that document that you would define. So you can use your own templates with general conditions and some other data, and system can pull data from the system and add it to that template. That's how you can simply prepare draft contracts, and from here you can directly send it by email. You can even add the email text, because you would see the email window opening here, and it would be sent based on the configuration. You can use your own email box or some general email box that would be configured in the Business Central. So this is the lease contract, and I have mentioned that based on that contract details, you can quickly generate and deliver invoices for your tenants. So I have service journal. Okay, I will just delete this data, and I will show you how your monthly task can look like if you would use software real estate for billing your tenants. So we have automated function create lines, and we would define the calculation period. In this case, it's September. We can run calculations for different properties, different contracts, different services. I will run it for shopping center. And system quickly calculates the charges for the tenants based on the conditions that were defined on lease contract. So we can see that for which service, what is the client, what is the contract number, service dates, how much system calculates as a payable amount. This is journal, so you can do some checks. You can compare these amounts, for example, with previous period, and you can see if there are any differences. We can see that in one contract we have increased amount, so probably there was rent review, and we have changed the price or indexed the price, which is also available. And if you agree that system calculated correctly, we would just post these calculations, which would now be the history, the ledger of a tenant, of a unit. And by next step, creation of invoices, we can quickly run it, set some parameters. But again, we are doing this for September. Okay, system goes through those calculations that were already made and creates sales invoices. And this is it. I get all the data that was calculated in Service Journal as a sales invoice. So here I see the customer, I see the sales invoice dates, and my sales invoice lines. So I get the revenue to a particular GL account, which can be different for different services. I get the quantities, unit prices from lease contracts, and this is it. This is how it connects lease contract to your revenue, and it brings all the attributes, all the needed attributes from the lease contract to the sales invoice part. After you post the sales invoice, you would get the revenue, you get all the tax calculations, you get the receivables, and you can analyze the data, for example, by property, because system knows for which property this is the sales invoice. And once the customer makes the payment, when you apply it to one or another invoice, you can also do some analysis like property performance, how profitable it is. So everything is here and tightly related. Okay, we are short in time, so just a few more things. We have work orders, which I have already mentioned can be used for tracking customer requests. So these can be assigned to one or another persons that would be responsible for this work order. Also from the work order, since it's not periodic activity, which you can include in lease contract, but it's like ad hoc request, we can issue a separate invoice for this work order for the tenant. Or if it requires some additional vendors to be included, you can raise a purchase order from the work order. So it again tightly related to other processes that you can handle in the system. So you can change some messages with a tenant. As I mentioned, tenants can raise those work orders through the customer portal. So you can see all the related activities here. I mentioned that you can have your maintenance tasks, so you can assign some preventive maintenance tasks like elevator inspection, your heating system, heating or cooling system inspections, other things that you just don't want to miss the deadline. So you can track those dates and see to which property and which asset those are assigned. And shortly about the reporting, I have already showed you the Power BI reporting capabilities inside the Business Central, but you can also just use the Power BI, and for example, business managers that they can get the data just in Power BI reports and don't have the access to Business Central itself. So they can use the Power BI portal, or they can use Power BI app, and they can get the brief overview of the business. We can sort all the data. We can filter data by different properties. For example, here we can check the contract expiries, and by clicking on particular year, I can get the list of contracts that are going to expire in 2024. So all these reports are interactive, and basically those are not so easy to make. So these reports can be adjusted to your needs and your processes and your KPIs that you are tracking and looking at, but different tabs of the reports can show different data, and you can get data from lease contracts, those calculations. You can combine into financial data like revenue, costs. We can check unit availability here as well per different property, and you can check how it's changing over time. So basically, these Microsoft platforms allows to get data easily from one place to another, do quick analysis. It can be directly Business Central, Power BI, or any other source. For example, there can be some pre-built reports in Business Central, like commercial rent roll, which we have as an example, which currently looks like this. We have all the tenancies for each unit with dates, term, what its monthly area, annual area. We can get this report as a printable, which I have just shown, or we can select it to be exported to any other Microsoft formats like Excel, Word, or even PDF or XML. We can quickly send this report to our colleague. So actually, Microsoft tools are really nice and related one to each other. So it's just easy to use and share. So probably that would be it regarding demonstration. So yeah, I'll go back to the slides, and yeah, it's time for short Q&A session.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Donatus. Let's take a look here and see what questions we have that have come in. Okay, so here's one question. Can you get just the software real estate component without Business Central and vice versa? So no, so software real estate is embedded inside of Business Central and does require that Business Central platform to run software real estate. However, Business Central does not require software real estate. So you can get started with Business Central as an accounting package and start running your business utilizing the Business Central application. And then as you grow and your needs grow with relation to managing your properties, then you can add software real estate at that time. Okay. And a next question here, how long does it take to get a solution like this up and running? Okay, so from a duration of time perspective, you're looking at a couple of months. So for a smaller project, maybe 4 months, up to 6 months for a more complex engagement. Okay. Could even be faster than that, right? Just depending on the size. Sometimes it's just a couple of weeks, but typically you're looking at a minimum of 3 months. And the last question we have in here, can we import data about our properties from Excel? Donatus, I'll leave that one with you.
Yeah, for sure. So you can import any data from the Excel templates that can be prepared by Business Central, and yeah, you can just fill in and import that data. Also, after the data is there, you can even add the data in Excel. So if you need to do the mass edit of some details, you can just get that list on the Excel sheet, do some changes, click save, and that data in Business Central will be updated. So yeah.
Excellent. Great. It sounds super easy. It's a great example, right, of the better together story with the Microsoft tools that you use all the time, like Excel, working seamlessly with Business Central. You don't need a middleware or any kind of tool to help you get that data into Business Central from Excel. It's just an import that's natively part of the system. Okay, great. Well, Donatus, I think that's the end of our questions. I really just have to thank you so much for your presentation today. I'm sure it will be really helpful for a lot of folks in understanding the value of the Dynamics 365 platform, Business Central, and software real estate. Okay, next slide, please.
Yeah, so, I just saw one more question in
sure.
our chat.
Sure, go for it.
So the question is it possible to integrate software real estate with external accounting software, like exporting accounting transactions? So shortly, yes, it's available. And Business Central or software real estate, since it's the same platform, is available to integrations with some other solutions and vice versa. So yeah, there are APIs and web services, so data exchange is available, but that would require some customizations and custom development. As Kat mentioned, those per tenant extensions can be made. So when talking about such integration, so we normally discuss with third-party solutions what types of integration are available there. What type of format, is it API or file transfers and so on. So those integrations are available.
And there's a follow-up question about editing information directly in Excel. Yes, yes, you can edit the information directly in Excel and then send that back into Business Central, upload that back into Business Central. All right. Anything else? Okay, so that's all the time we have for today, but if you've got more questions, we would love to hear them. And we welcome you to go ahead and take a test drive of the system for free as a next step. If that's of interest to you, just shoot an email off to info@softwarerealestate.com. And we can get you set up with a free trial. We would also be happy to meet with you and your team, do a one-on-one presentation, answer some more questions, show any specific functionality or processes in the system that you and your team may be curious about. So please just shoot us an email again at the info@ mailbox here, and we'd be happy to speak with you. We also did record this session today, so if you'd like to watch it again or send it to a colleague, we'll be sending that out in a follow-up email. And you may also feel free to just reply there and let us know if you'd like to meet one-on-one, and again, if you have any more questions. All right, so that's it for the show today, folks. Thank you so very much for joining us. It was a pleasure to have you all here today, and we hope to see you on our next webinar.
Okay, thank you and goodbye.